I'll probably work out a more polished version of this message for my main channel sometime later, but I had a few things on my mind I needed to say. I got in a bit of an argument with a dispensationalist on YouTube earlier, so I figured the topic's bound to come up, saying I'm not a Christian because I don't believe in the concept of 7 church ages and instead teach there are only 2 eras, the Old Testament era and the New Testament era. I'm a Methodist. Pretty much every branch of Protestant Christianity in the English-speaking world can be traced to or was influenced by the Methodists at some point, with the possible exception of Baptists, Lutherans, Episcopalians, some of the Reformed churches, and the United Church of Christ. Doctrinally, we haven't really changed much since mid-18th century, while various movements have come and gone. A lot of people on YouTube seem to have bought into something called dispensationalism, which really only takes form more or less around the start of the 20th century, which, while I subscribe to and teach a much older Christianity, probably sounds like Mormonism without the fancy underwear and space aliens if you're not used to that. Both sides consider themselves the original Christianity. Both sides claim to be rightly dividing the word of truth. As Paul said to Timothy, both sides purport to study the scriptures. I've spent 30 years with my nose in the Bible, and I've not reached the same conclusions that many of the other various amateur YouTube theologians have reached. Maybe it's because I've had other masters to learn from, or maybe it's because I read the Bible for what it is without preconceptions. Paul did not say that some scripture was profitable. He said all scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. And so I understand it. All scripture, not some scripture. All scripture is profitable for doctrine. I've probably read these scriptures deeper than many of the people I contend with. I read most of the Bible through when I was in grade school, the old King James Version, and I did a translation of the New Testament about 10 years ago, so hope that I have some understanding of which I speak.